Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In my previous videos, we have seen how to create SonarQube instance in Docker. And we can make use of SonarQube for code quality, detecting bugs, static code analysis, and vulnerability management. So in this tutorial, we are going to make use of the SonarQube running on Docker to integrate with Jenkins. So we will go through the step-by-step procedure on integrating SonarQube with Jenkins, and we'll see the output of the scans in the SonarQube. So by end of this tutorial, we'll be able to have a good understanding how you can make the SonarQube scans to review your code, identify your bugs, vulnerabilities, etc. So let's get started. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like the video, share, and comment. So to start, we have to have a machine where we can create Docker containers. So I already have a Docker running CentOS machine, so I'm going to run the command to create the SonarQube container. So to know about these commands, I would recommend you to check my previous tutorial how to create SonarQube Docker container. So in that I have explained you all the details how to create a Docker container. So we can access the SonarQube on the host IP and the port 9000, which we exposed in the Docker container. Okay, let's wait. The SonarQube is starting. Okay, so we are on the login page where we can click on login, and the default username is admin and the password is admin. Cool. So just check out my previous tutorial so you'll know what all the steps we mean by the Docker run command for SonarQube. Again, I'm going to run another command to create a Jenkins instance in Docker. Here also I'm just running the command which I have explained in my one of the tutorial for Jenkins. So again, I would request you to check the tutorial on running Jenkins on Docker. So we are going to access the Jenkins on the host IP and the port 8080. Okay, and in Jenkins, I have mapped the volume /var/Jenkins. So you can go to that folder and secrets folder, and you'll have a file called initial admin password. So you have to read that file to log into the Jenkins instance. So I'm just going quickly in these stages because I'm not going to take much time on setting up of SonarQube and Jenkins, which you can go through the link on my video description, which will give you complete information. So click on install plugin, and we will get started with Jenkins setup. And we'll also need to set up the initial admin user account and password in the next screen. Okay, I have fast forwarded the installation. It usually takes some time, so let's create the username and password. So I'm going to create an admin user and a password for that. You can give a email address. Okay, just click on save and finish. So our Jenkins is ready. So you can see we are on the Jenkins home page, and we also have the SonarQube instance running. So let's create a new project under SonarQube, and I'm naming it as SonarQube, the project key, because we have to use that for integration. So you can give any name. So I'm just using SonarQube. Okay, so we have the project as well ready, SonarQube. Now let's go to the Jenkins again. Let's create the job. So I'm giving a name as SonarQube again in Jenkins. Yeah, it may be confusing like two SonarQube here and there, but you can give any name. Okay, let's go to the build section of the job, and under the build, if you see, we don't see any option to integrate with SonarQube. Why? Because we don't have the plugin for SonarQube install. So go to manage plugins, manage plugin, and go to available section, search for SonarQube. So when you search for SonarQube, you can see like SonarQube scanner. So select that and click on install without restart. Okay, let's wait for the installation to be completed. Okay, we are almost done. Yep. So the installation is completed. Now if you go back to the job and go to configure, let's go to the build section again, and you can see execute SonarQube scanner. So you have a few options, execute SonarQube scanner, but if you select that, we cannot do anything because we need to configure SonarQube scanner under configuration and global tools. So again, we have to go to manage Jenkins and manage global tools configuration. So let's click on that, and if you scroll down, you have an option for SonarQube scanner. So we are not using the SonarQube for MS build. So here you have to give the name, just give any name which you want to give and select install automatically. So I'm going to use the version as the latest version and save it. And now we have to go to configure system. And this is also under manage Jenkins configure system. And if you scroll down, you will have again one more setting for SonarQube servers. So here we have to enable the environmental variables, and also we have to give a name for the SonarQube instance, and I'm going to give the server in which the SonarQube is running. So you can copy the link from there and paste it here. So it will be the IP address and the port 9000. So we are not going to use any authentication. Just click on save. Okay, great. So now if you go back to configure the job and go to the build section, now we can see the all error messages are gone. So now we can make use of that SonarQube instance. So before we do that, let's integrate one of Git server. So I'm going to use two projects here this time, one for C Sharp, which I use for MS build, which is a very simple Hello World project. And I will also use one of test Java project. So we'll see how SonarQube respond to both those scans. Okay. So the main properties which we have to set for SonarQube to work is Sonar project key. So I'm going to add all these configuration settings so that when we run the job, it will update the scan result into the SonarQube instance. So give the SonarQube project key as your project name or project key which we created in the SonarQube instance, and the login is admin, and the source of the scanning file, because we are going to use the Jenkins, and we are going to download the Git to the Jenkins workspace. So I'm going to go to the /var Jenkins home. So /var Jenkins home is the place where all your Jenkins data will be stored. So, and the workspace is the place where the uh, Git files will be downloaded. So since the project name is SonarQube, I am going to give that as file. And the Sonar host, again the IP address, I'm giving the IP address. So this is a simple configuration. Now let's click on build now. Okay, let's check the console output. So you'll be able to see the Git is getting downloaded. Okay, and you can see the build logs. So let's wait to see whether we are able to get a successful job or not. So let's wait. Okay, it may take some time depending upon the project size, how much it has to scan. But this is a small project, so it will be completed much quicker. So you can see it's trying to go through the project configurations, quality profiles. So all those activities, great. So we got the success of the project job. Okay, so let's go back to SonarQube, and if you refresh, you can see there is a green past, and if you go inside the project, you can see now there are some data, but no, this project is very small, so there is no bugs. So you don't see any bugs, you don't see any vulnerabilities, so everything is green. Okay, so that's a very small project. So now let's do another project. Okay, so we'll create a new project now. So we are going to create a new job. Okay, so I will call it as SonarQube demo. Okay, again, I'm going to select freestyle project, and I will create a new project in SonarQube for this integration. Okay, so I'm going to call again SonarQube demo here as well. Okay, so we can see the project in SonarQube, so we'll use that to integrate. Okay, so before that, let's get the GitHub uh, link. Okay, so I have given all these links, the instructions, everything in my video description, so you don't have to worry. You can just copy the links and you can put the instructions into your Jenkins instance. Okay, so so we have integrated Git now, so let's write the properties. So here again, the project sonar.project key is one of the key things, so which we are going to give SonarQube demo, and the sonar.login is admin and the password is admin. And I'm going to give some exclusion here because since I'm using a Java project, it may throw some errors if you don't give this exclusion. So I'm excluding some of the Java files and some uh, things. Okay. And Sonar source, again, it's the location where the files will be there. So it will be under workspace in Jenkins. So I'm going to give that workspace location for SonarQube demo. And the host URL, I'm going to give the host URL as well. So you can see the whole commands or properties which I'm going to give it in the SonarQube scanner. Okay, so let's save it and let's run the build again. Okay, let's wait for the build to be completed. So again, we have to see what all process it's running. So this time we will see whether we are going to see some bugs or vulnerabilities detected. Okay. Okay, great. So again, we got the successful execution. Okay, so let's go back to SonarQube and refresh. So now this time, if you see the SonarQube demo project, there are 4 bugs, 1 vulnerabilities, and you have 33 code issues, and the coverage is 0 and the duplicate is 16.3%, right? So if you go to the bug, it will tell you what bugs it has been detected. So this will be very useful when you're doing development projects. So the code review is one of the critical activities. So you see the password detected in this expression. So this is a potentially hard-coded credential. So this will tell you what you have to be fixed. So this is a very helpful tool where you can make use of it for your development project, where you can go through all these critical vulnerabilities and the bugs and how the code is written. Okay, so you can see duplicates. It gives you complete information, so I don't have to explain much about each thing. You just go through one by one, and you will be able to understand it. So overview page itself, you'll have all these pictures. See, it's even tell you what's the risk, how you can fix it. So it's a very interesting tutorial and to go through all these things. So this will be the second tutorial on SonarQube. Like we have seen set up Docker, SonarQube in Docker, and now we are integrating with Jenkins. In future tutorial, we'll also see how we can integrate SonarQube in the Jenkins pipeline jobs. To summarize, we have seen how to run SonarQube as a Docker container and integrate with Jenkins. We have installed a SonarQube scanner plugin, configured the same to start the build, and we have also used a C# project and also a Java project to see what are the bugs and vulnerabilities identified. So I hope this tutorial is informative for you. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like the video, share and comment.